Hello YouTube, and it's been a while since I made a video today, or in a while actually, altogether, but I thought it was about time that I made another Minecraft video, because obviously I don't remember how long it's been since I made another one, but today I have a video tutorial for you guys on my piston door. That's pretty much everything you're going to need. If I miss something, I'll mention it while we're building. So let us start building. I'm going to build it right here. So I'm going to build a 3x4. Is pretty much how big you're gonna want it, at least, because you want it to have like that inner and outer rim around it, so that way it's not like just the entire. If you just have like a small spot in your house and the whole wall moves back, it looked kind of weird to me. But anyway, oh yeah, you're going to need sticky pistons. That's the only thing I forgot. I knew I forgot something. So first thing you're gonna want to do is find the spot that you want it. I just created my wall, and wherever you want it, you're going to come right behind the area, and 1 block away you're going to put 4 sticky pistons like that. That way they're facing the wall. Next, you're going to 1 block away, so skip this block, so put 2 sticky pistons here like that, and do the same thing on this side. That's so that way whenever those go off, they will pull this out, and then those two and those two will go off at the same time, pulling these 2 blocks that way and these 2 blocks that way, and then the timer will loop back around, and by time then you're already down inside of the hole right here, and these will push back in, these 2 will push back in, and then this will push out. And if you're doing this, say on your server or whatever, it happens so quick that if somebody's actually in your house and they're not looking, by the time they hear the noise, you're probably already in the hole and it's probably closed. So it's a really good way to hide, like, just pretty much anything you want that you don't want anybody else messing with on your server. So let's start getting into wiring. I think I've talked enough about that, but anyway, you're going to want to put 4 right behind the 4 pistons there, and then put 1 there. Then wire there, there, and there, like that, to where it looks like this, and then a repeater here. And then you're going to also want a repeater on that block, and the same exact thing on this block. Now I'm going to try to get it as small as I can. I'm going to try to recreate that one as much as I can, but I'm probably going to make it a little bit bigger, so that way it's a little bit easier to look at and doesn't look that bad or whatever. But you're probably going to want to try to make it smaller if it's going to be in your house, because you're probably limited to space. But for these, you're going to have to use a little bit of trickery for them. And I've actually I was just kind of fooling around with some tickers and stuff, and I found this. It works on 1 repeater and 3 redstone, so I think it works extremely well for this reason. And then you're just going to come over here and recreate the exact same thing, like this, there, redstone there, repeater there, redstone on top of these 2. And that 1 repeater will send power to that, and it was really easy to figure out how to work that. But now we're going to come back here. I'd suggest coming back a little bit to make this. You're actually going to have to, because of the way that you wired it. But and then you're going to make the timer. So you're going to have 6 blocks just like this. I'm flying. And then this repeater here, right here, the first repeater is going to be facing this block. Then this repeater is going to be facing that block. And then you're almost going to be making a loop. So then you're going to put a repeater there, then that way, But on these 3 middle ones, they have to be facing forward for the timer to work. These 2 need to be set to 1. These 2 need to be set to 4. Like that. So that should be the timing of them. So next you're going to want to invert. That's why it's bad. Okay. Then you're going to put a torch there, there, and there. So all of them need to be inverted. That you're gonna wire that one up first because that one needs to be pushed in, or else these will be pushed in, and well, it really wouldn't. Actually, no, it wouldn't matter. It's a lot easier to figure out what's wrong, how to figure out problems if something does go wrong. This one's pretty easy to wire up. You're going to run it straight until you get to this repeater here, and you're just going to do that. Simple. Next, you're going to come straight this way and do that. That is super easy. This one here, although, is going to have to actually run underground. Oh, no, can't break that block. You're going to need to actually run it underground for mouse work. For that redstone to actually be able to connect to it. So I'm going to run it right underneath it. That. So you should just have that wire running straight underneath that one. So that way you can get it straight to this repeater here. Like that. Wait, why did I do that? I also always put one repeater right here. Not really because it's more than 15, but this one needs to be set to 2, or no, 1 click there, and then that one needs to be set to no clicks. It just helps with timing, really. 1 click, 1 click, 1 click. Oh yeah, 2 clicks. 1, 2. So these should be on 2, these should be on 3, and these 2 should be on 1. Little mistake on my part, but anyway, I'm going to run it 1 block from that, just so that way it's easy for me to. It makes it very compact this way, and then you're going to run it straight that way. Add repeater, and that's pretty much the entire setup right there. So you're going to have the entire setup kind of like this, similar in some way or whatever. Next, I'm going to actually break the. I should have done this before. You're probably going to want to do this before, but I'm just going to break these. And you're going to want to just dig whatever you're going to use down here. Say this is probably going to. I actually use this in my own world as a my mining shaft. So that's just one of the uses for it. It really has a lot of different uses for this, and I think it's turning on tea time. Night. Nope, not night. Day. There. So now we're going to wire the button. I'm going to put the button right here. If I remember right, it has to be at least 3 blocks away from the door, or 1 extra block out, and I'm actually gonna make it 1 extra block out just to be sure. But then you're going to place your button there. I'm going to run this redstone. God, can't speak right now. This redstone above ground, so that way you could see where it goes. Because in the other one, I know it was underground. It really wasn't that complicated to know exactly where it was or whatever. But just for the sake of time of happening to dig all that crap out, I am just going to do this. So then you're going to place the repeaters. I usually just randomly place them. Doesn't really matter at all to me. But that's pretty much it, really, to make the door work. Now we're going to have to go underground. So hit the door, make sure it works, and it does, as you can see here. But you cannot get out now, so I'm going to dig a little bit out of here. What the heck? Why is it early? It's supposed to be early. Oh god. No, delay that one by one, maybe. Actually, I'm just gonna cut it here, and I'll get back to y'all whenever all this crap is fixed up and it actually works. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I figured out what the problem was. It was actually in the timer system, the ticker system. These two right here, these two that power the side ones, are actually supposed to be set on 1 ticks, and then these two here that go to the middle ones are supposed to be set on 4. So basically just switch these two to 1 and these two to 4. And that was the problem, and it fixed itself. So as you can see, this system does work. So we're going to go and create the button system. So yay. I run this underground, and I'm going to run it straight. Weather rings. Okay. I run it underground like this, and it just runs straight over to the button here. And then I usually go one more, so that way it's not like right there, but it's kind of off a little bit. But I don't really think it matters that much, but I do it anyway. And you're gonna press the button, make sure it works, and which it does. So then you can, I'm just gonna come out here and do it. You're going to want to fill in any unused space and cap this off like this. And then, no, not there. I can't put one there. So this is pretty much what it should look like whenever it's all done. This is what mine looks like, depending on how wide out, how spread you make, how can't speak today, how spread out you made your redstone is depending on how big it's going to be. So then you're going to come down here, and it's going to do that. I'm going to place the ladders now. You're actually not going to be able to place one on that one though. So I actually like having my ladders like this, because you can be anywheres in the middle and it will work pretty much all the time. And the problem is, sometimes you can't actually press the button whenever you're at certain points in it, in which you can come out. So this is pretty much the end of the tutorial. It's not that hard. I'm going to actually probably consider this a easy to moderate level, but you really don't need to know much about redstone. You pretty much need to know the basics really for this, and just mess around with timing and all. But that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys next time.